Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. Brett Pritchard and Randy Lee here with you for your lunch hour, and we're glad that you've joined us here on a busy day today. A lot going on in the world of sports, especially Auburn athletics and the new classifications for high school. And, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that today because it affects all of you out there as far as when you follow your team, and especially the teams in the area that we cover here in the central part of Alabama. Some teams moving up, some teams moving down, and obviously a lot of teams staying right where they were. But regions change. That's the bigger thing. Not so much as who's moving up and down classifications. It's did you stay in the same region you've been in the last 2 years, or are you going to see a lot of new teams?
Got a new set coming as well, Brett.
Yeah.
You got any update on that? We'll have it out hopefully by the end of the week.
Yeah, hopefully the set will be complete, and we'll have that rolled out. If not by the end of this week, definitely next week.
It's the old school locker look that we had maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I always thought that was the best look that we've had. We can throw a lot of different jerseys and helmets and keep it from college to high school, and people give us stuff. We kind of like that too. So we'll have those lockers back there, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Isn't it funny how you come full circle?
Yeah, you do.
With stuff. And I hate to tell you something, that was about 8 or 9 years ago.
Was it really?
Yeah.
You're getting old.
No,
You're starting to look it.
I've been seeing this face in the mirror the last few years. You ain't got to tell me anything about it. But the lockers will be brand new, so that'll be something that all of you can look at that watch us on Facebook and watch us on TV. But a lot of exciting news. This is an exciting time for teams because it's kind of a rejuvenation. For some, you go, what are you talking about, rejuvenation? Have you seen my region? But it does. It's a refresher. And it's not a lot of change for some teams, but it's drastic change for some programs because, competitive balance rule is in place for private schools. There's a lot of different things. We'll hit some of the high points today. We'll take your comments on Facebook.
Well, let's start with two different things. Okay, what is competitive balance? Here's what competitive balance is in the state of Alabama, and I think that it's this way at a lot of associations and state out there. Competitive balance is if you play for a private school or you're active in a private school and you win multiple state championships in a row, or is it multiple within a 3-year period or 4-year period?
I think it's multiple state championships or competing for state championships because Mobile Christian moved up because of competitive balance this time.
So with that being the case, if you're UMS Wright, who has won multiple state championships in a row, if you're sitting in 4A, for football only now.
That's right, for
only
football.
The sports that, so if you're a great football school, but your baseball struggles, you don't go up in that sport. Or if you're Bayside Academy down in Mobile, who's won about 20 volleyball championships in a row, the competitive balance keeps knocking you up until you get there. And so that's what you're going to hear on some of these.
They moved up again, by the way.
Did they?
They're going up to 5A.
And you got to think, at some point, they have one of the best coaches in the nation. Didn't she get named Coach of the Year?
I think so.
In the nation. Mm-hmm. They've won 16 or 17 in a row.
I mean, and you keep moving up classification, so you keep moving up till you figure out look, I get it, and look, I know everybody wants to win a state championship, but you also want to challenge, and I'm not saying they weren't challenged some this year, but you want to challenge your program, challenge your girls, in that
Do you like the competitive balance? Do you think it's been a good implementation here in the state?
I think you have to do it. I mean, I really do because, it allows, look, I'm not going to get into the public-private school thing on here. That's not what we're going to talk about. And we got a lot of recruiting. I know a lot of you are excited about tomorrow. We're going to talk recruiting for the rest of the program. But I think you got to have some type of element in there to control what public schools can do versus what private schools can do legally. Okay, we're not going to get into who does things behind the scenes and all that. either public or private. That's just wrong, whoever's doing it. But according to legal ways you can do things, people can move into private schools. They can give you, opportunities that you don't have opportunity. If you live in a public school district, you got to go to school in that public school district. So I do like it. Just to sum it up, make it real plain and simple, I like it.
You want me to start with 7A?
Yeah, why don't we just hit a couple of the big classifications here. I know, Randy, you said I can't wait till tomorrow to see how Auburn does. I think Auburn's going to have a big day tomorrow. We're going to talk about some of these recruits coming in. But, yes, I'd like to go ahead and just start with 7A.
Well, we'll start with 7A, but I'm going to start with number 2. I said number 1, and then I cut myself off. Brett and I tend to do that when we start running our mouth. But the number 2 big thing is we had 3 major schools in Class 7A drop down to 6A. And those 7A schools have been uber successful over the last decade. Yet they are dropping down to 6A, and so it's going to be a tough ride or a tough road to hoe for any of these teams in 6A to compete. I'll start with number 1, McGill-Tulane, one of the top schools in the state of Alabama in most every sport, has moved down to Class 6A. That's a big one in the Mobile area. So you're going to see a massive region right there in Spanish Fort, Saraland, McGill-Tulane, going to be one of the toughest regions in the state. Brett will run that one down here shortly. One other school, Robert E. Lee, has dropped down to Class 6A. That's huge in every sport. Lee has taken a precipitous rise in most sports, especially football and basketball, and they have played in championships in basketball multiple times, but they're going to drop down to Class 6A, so good luck from an athleticism standpoint, staying on the court, especially with Robert E. Lee. They're a highlight reel. If you pull Twitter up, I saw a national account on Max Preps share one of the between the legs dunk by Duke Miles. Who's their point? That's their point guard at Robert E. Lee putting on a show like that. So Lee's dropping down to 6A. Mountain Brook has moved from 7A down to 6A. They have had a really good stretch in football in 7A. Winning 7, 8, 9 ball games a year. They can't get over the hump in that region. They dropped to 6A.
Well, people can say what they want to, and this is my opinion. You can agree with it or disagree with it. 6A is the toughest classification, up and down.
Well, by far now.
It's not even close. I mean, 7A, yeah, 7A is your big classification, but it's done by size of school, okay? That doesn't mean that, you get the best teams in the state of Alabama in every sport. 6A, from top to bottom, if you want to go pull it up on AHSA.com and see the teams that are listed in 6A, good luck, man. I mean, in all these sports, baseball, football, basketball, girls softball. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, this is a gauntlet. 6A is the strongest classification top to bottom, in my opinion. Now, I know there's great teams in all these other classifications, but I'm saying as a whole, you got majority of these schools. You just named off 2 that just ramped it up in 2 sports for boys, football and basketball. Both of them have played for state championships in 7A. Lee and Mountain Brook. Mountain Brook's won how many now? How many have they won?
3 or 4.
In 7A. So, I mean, they're going to drop down. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean you drop down and you run roughshod over everybody. Sometimes it may be tougher. Ask Lynette in football. When they dropped the classification, we thought, oh, man, this is over. They're just going to kill everybody, and they didn't even make it the next year after they had won a state championship. So you still got to win when you go out there, but it makes it a lot tougher on the other team.
Only one more note for 7A, and I'll kick it over to you, because those were the 3 big things there in Class 7A. Moving to 6A was the story there. One story, though, is a 6A program moving up to 7A, and that's Daphne. Daphne getting out of that, disaster. I mean, that is a disaster of a region.
That region's unbelievable.
In Class 6A, and Brett will run it down. So they move up to 7A, and you may say, well, that's not nice. Oh, that's beautiful if you're Daphne High School. Yes, it is. Here's their region now. Alma Bryant, Baker, Daphne, Davidson, Fairhope, Foley, Mary G. Montgomery, Murphy, and Theodore.
They're immediately, in my opinion, the number 1 seed, if not the number 2 seed in that region.
And where are they in that 6A region?
Maybe barely making the playoffs.
I'd call them the 5th best team.
I was going to say, that's that 5th looking in. That's the outside looking in team. They're 1 or 2 in that region in 7A. No wonder they tweeted out a guy with a chain and buffed up and saying, well, we were moving up and excited. Usually it's the other way around, man. I think it's a rejuvenation for Daphne High School. They're competing at the highest level. They're in a lot better region comparable to what they were going to be in, and I'll just skip over and say it since you talked about it. Gulf Shores, Matty Blunt, which is Blunt High School, McGill Tulin, Robertsdale, Saraland, and Spanish Fort and Baldwin County. I mean, Spanish Fort, Saraland, and McGill Tulin and Blunt, all in the same region, and you had Daphne in there too. They had to get somebody out of there. I mean, somebody had to go. That's brutal. And look, I hate it. And again, I know this is a statewide program, but I feel sorry for Gulf Shores and Citronelle. I really do. I mean, you look down and you see that you got to compete against.
You know what it reminds me of? You saying 7 years ago, 5 years ago maybe. Oh, I feel sorry for Thompson High School. I mean, I watched Thompson, and that's a great community over there in Alabaster. Yeah. I feel sorry for them, but look at this region they're in.
Guess what?
Boy, you get the right coach.
I still feel sorry.
Yes, I feel sorry for them too. Unless Mark Freeman decides he wants to go down there and coach.
If they can go find them somebody, and if they can bring a coach in, and I'm not cutting their coaches down. I don't know who their coaches are. Don't even know who they are. But I'm just saying, they're probably sitting in their office saying the same thing. I mean, they're going, look, we try, but that's a tough gauntlet. But I know that's not the only region in the state that's really tough. We'll shift around here.
Give us the Benjamin Russell region so everyone knows.
Benjamin Russell, for the local people here, is Benjamin Russell, Calera, Chilton County, Helena, Pelham, Stanhope, Elmore, and Wetumpka. You notice one big school that's missing out of that region is Opelika. Opelika is in the region above Benjamin Russell. They're in Region 2. They're with Carver, Eufaula, Sidney Lanier, Robert E. Lee, Park Crossing, Russell County, and Valley. Ain't nothing easy about that one either.
Let me run down this 5A Region 4 because that's of interest to a lot in this local area, including Sylacauga, Beauregard, Central Clay County, Elmore County, Hopeville, Sylacauga, Talladega, and Tallahassee in Region 4 and 5A. That's a great region.
Really good region.
That's a fun one to go travel and play every Friday.
It really is. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Up against our first break, we'll continue this and a lot more, get into some Auburn recruiting tomorrow, signing day. Stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Employee Pricing Plus continues at Bice Motors in Alex City.
It's the Big Finish event.
Save up to $7,435 on Jeep Compass and Grand Cherokee, or up to $12,000 on the powerful Ram trucks in stock.
Don't miss this.
Save up to $5,200 on the sporty Dodge Durango.
We're going to finish the year big.
Save big during the Big Finish event going on at Bice Motors in Alex City.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hidley Towers is an affordable senior citizen community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East, where spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living, where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more about Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552, for your family at Hidley Towers. That's 256-329-0552.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Alex City Marines, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, and the Yerkes invite you by to see what they have available today. The 2020 Manitous and Landaus are in, and boy, are they gorgeous. Also, some great deals on demos. Take advantage of that while they last. Alex City Marine also is doing shrink wrapping, storage. Get in line now. In fact, call this number, 256-215-FISH. Alex City Marine, Alex City.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz, brought to you by Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores and Mortgage Pro there at McKinley Team. And both want to wish you a Merry Christmas out there. We couldn't do the show without them. Been wonderful partners here since day one.
I want to send a special thank you out to Brad Easterwood, who produces our programming here and does an exceptionally good job. I don't say that near enough, but he really does. And all of the people that we work with throughout the year, and there's a lot of you out there. There's a lot of radio stations and television stations, and we can't thank each of you enough. Otherwise, we'd just be talking ourselves. We'd still be talking.
We talk. We just hang out.
Nobody to hear what we had an opinion on, which would probably
a lot of
make
people don't really give a rip no way. But I mean, that's fine though. We appreciate all of you guys out there that do watch and comment. You help make the show. I got two more regions. We're gonna move into recruiting. In 6A, man. I mean, there's going to be some good football games these coming Fridays in the fall. And I know we ran down the one down in Region 2 with Opelika, and we ran down Region 1 down in the Mobile area. If you thought those two were tough, listen to these two. In Region 5 and 6 up in the Birmingham area, Briarwood, Chelsea, Homewood, Huffman, Mountain Brook, Shades Valley, and Woodlawn. Anybody signing up to jump into that one? If you want to jump
Briarwood's up to 6A.
Briarwood's up to 6A.
Interesting.
Chelsea.
Couldn't keep enrollment down. That tells you how much that school is growing. Or the want to be in that school is growing, Brett, because they've been able to keep they're not going up from a competitive balance standpoint. Think about that.
No, they're not.
They haven't won championships in a while. And they've been able to remain in 5A, 20 years, longer.
I know, man.
That's kind of interesting.
It's a big jump for them for sure. And here's Region 6. This may be the worst one of all. And when I say worst, it's the toughest. I'm not saying just everybody in here is good. You know, there's going to be some regions that you look at and you go, and here's the deal. And every region champion ain't created equal. Every playoff team isn't created equal because only 4 is going to come out of here. But there's 7 that could. That's how good this region is. Clay Chalkville, I think they went 8-2 in the regular season this year, 9-1. Very, very good football program. Been a perennial power for a while. Gardendale, the Rockets.
They've grown. I mean, they've gotten better.
8, 9, 10 wins every year. Jasper, #1 team in 5A, pretty much all season this past year. Very good football team last year. Lot of good athletes, good coaches, strong program. Minor, good Lord. If there's a team that's got more athletes than Minor High School and what they did a couple years ago, they went 3 rounds deep in the playoffs, had a chance, got beat, in the quarterfinals were beating people by 30 and 40 points.
Have you seen many bludgeonings like we had?
No.
Against
but
them?
they bludgeoned
They
a
were
lot.
bludgeoning everyone.
They
But
bludgeoned everybody
I
that
will
way.
never forget the purple wave rolling up into the Sportplex
No.
and deciding they were going to fake a punt inside the 5.
And they ran it back.
And running it back, and then them running that touchdown back on that punt return while Purple Rain by Prince is playing, and the whole crowd over there with their national champion band.
That's right.
In complete concert with one another. I'll go to my grave remembering that purple.
It'll be ingrained in your brain for sure.
Best high school band I've ever seen.
By far.
Yes.
Great sound, great performance, all that stuff. We're just four teams in, by the way. I still got 3 more to go, in case you were wondering. Mortimer Jordan, who has been a perennial power in 5A, who moves up to join Jasper in this region. Very good football program, a lot of great athletes at that school. Jackson Olin, who do they produce? They just produce T.D. Moultries and Quanius Millers and everybody else like that. That's who Jackson Olin
Number
produces.
one linebacker maybe in the country going to Alabama.
Going to
right
Alabama
now.
this
Yeah.
year. You know, they just got those kind of players at their school. And then, lo and behold, drum roll please, Pat Nix and Pinson Valley in that region.
You got to be kidding.
That is your Region 6 and 6A. I'm talking every one of the coaches in that region probably sitting there going, what in the world? I mean, because all of them are so good. Randy, only 4 of those teams are going to make it to the playoffs. 3 of them going to be left out.
Give an explanation on how they determine where these regions
It's all
are made up.
It's all
That's right.
Geography. And they try to do it.
And they have a system in
But
place.
they do have a system. It's the fair system that we've had in this state since the inception. You know what they used to do? They used to all be in a big war room with a map on the thing with push pins. That's how it used to go down. And they'd put push pins in the map, and that's how they would figure out where people go. And that was a human element. Really don't have that anymore. You look at geographic lines, you look at, obviously the classification first, and you try to make it as easy and economical on these schools as possible as far as travel. Now, there's going to be a school here and there that has to travel a little bit further than others. I get it. And Coach Sav talked about that this morning. It's just the way it is. But for the most part, if you look at Clay Chalkville down to Pinson Valley, all those schools are stacked right in there pretty tight, and that's why they create the region they create. So it's a great system. Sometimes you get a region like that. Sometimes you get other regions. You go, I don't know if I can pull one out.
Well, that region got much, much harder with 2 teams moving up from 5A to 6A in Jasper and Mortimer Jordan.
That's what
it would be bearable with a,
but now
with a
you got
couple
2
of
of the top teams in 5A that's in 6A now.
2 of the top 5 teams over the last few years.
No
in
doubt.
5A.
No doubt.
Yeah.
It's just it's a tough draw for all of those teams, but you know what? They'll all be good football, and that'll be a close region. That'll be a fun one to watch this year. See who wins that region. Whoever wins that region is strong, strong, strong. And Pinson Valley was going for state championship number 3 this year. They lost to Oxford in the semifinals, didn't even make it back to play for it. So you look at that and you see, man, you got a great schedule there for those teams. About a minute left on this segment, and we're going to dive into recruiting. A lot of signees tomorrow. A big one for Auburn today in the Flux Kid at 5 o'clock. After a switch in commitments for the kid from Phoenix City, Javion Cohen, Auburn opened up a slot. They're looking at a big kid from junior college that's down to Auburn in Kentucky, and he'll announce today at 5 o'clock. We'll talk more about that here in the next segment. But some big names on the table for Auburn. Some really big names. Tisdale's one of them. Pegues is one of them. We'll hit all of that when we come back here on the show. But stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz coming your way right after this.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
I am Lisa McClendon from Country Financial, and I have spent years in our community helping people protect their homes, cars, and lives. I am proud to be a member of the 2018 National Championship Team and a National Advisory Council member for Country Financial. Complete financial security does not end with just insurance. I am also here to help you plan for your financial future.
Together, we can help you set up a step-by-step plan to reach financial security.
Let's talk soon.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
At Mortgage Pro, we won't be able to finance a new car or new boat. We can't open you a checking account. Mortgage Pro specializes in mortgage loans. If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your current home, the only way to go is Mortgage Pro. We can close in 15 days or less. We can offer the best rates in the mortgage industry. And we can waive appraisal fees on any new loan from September 1st until December 31st. Call Mortgage Pro today.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz, brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores and Mortgage Pro there at McKinley Team. Halfway through the program today, and a lot of you chomping at the bit about signing day tomorrow, and a big reason why. This current class ranked 9th according to 24/7. Some really big names. Only one 5-star commitment in this class is Tank Bigsby from Callaway, Georgia. He got propelled to the #1 overall running back in this class. So that was a big one. You know, you get a guy like him and you add him into the mix with what Auburn's already got down there. You got Boobie Whitlow coming back. You got DJ Williams. A lot of people have forgotten about Mark Anthony Richards that'll be in the mix. Auburn's going to have a slew of tailbacks to pick from.
Well, this is by far the biggest recruit of that bunch.
Oh, for sure.
Look, we can all be pretty positive with who we have on campus and feel pretty good about the DJ Williams and the Mark Anthony Richards and the Boobie Whitlows, and I do feel good about them. But none of them had this kind of prestige coming out of high school.
None.
Not even close. I think Boobie Whitlow was a late get for Auburn and was a 2-star majority of the year, that final year.
He was.
He had huge numbers. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying this is a big-time get for Auburn. And when is the last top-tier running back commit Auburn got? I mean 5-star.
Michael Dyer.
Yeah.
Michael Dyer.
That's right.
Yeah, won a national championship with him, too.
Yep.
Has an impact. And, you know, that class.
Who before him?
Before,
Cadillac?
Yeah, Cadillac. Yeah, they don't come they come in spurts. You know, that's pretty good, for Auburn to go. When was he recruited? Was that 01 that Cadillac came?
Yeah.
And then Michael Dyer came in 2009 or 10.
Yep.
And then now Tank Bigsby. So we had Kerryon Johnson sprinkled there in the mix too.
Yeah.
He was pretty high profile, but he wasn't this high of profile.
I think he was maybe a top 20 back in the country.
That's right.
That would be a stretch, I think. Because a lot of people wanted him at something other than running back.
They did.
I remember calling the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game with you.
Rock Thomas was a five-star, highly ranked. Justin just sent that text to us, and that's a good point. But he didn't pan out.
Yeah.
They're not always going to pan out.
Of course they aren't. But I'm glad we got him.
Oh, yeah. Georgia made a hard push here late.
Yep.
He shut it down. I know Auburn was relieved with that. It's number one run back in the country, and he's coming to Auburn. So that's a shot. That's a shot to Georgia. You expect to try to land those players and keep them in state, but the Derek Browns of the worlds and the Montravius Adams and the Tank Bigsbys and those kind of guys. Auburn's getting another good one out of Troup County, Georgia. Kobe Hudson, one of the top receivers in the country, number 18 overall receiver in the nation, 6'1", 190 pounds. He's a playmaker. I showed you a picture of him the other day. He's a cut up 190 pounds. So Auburn really excited to land him and get him on the dotted line tomorrow.
Sounds like, or just reading between the lines, Chad Morris late was an easy close for him, and probably had a lot to do with him deciding to stick with Auburn. That size athlete at the receiving corps has become more of the norm than the 6'3", 6'4" Seth Williams of the world. And I think that the speedsters that Alabama and LSU and others have thrown out there, Brett, have made the 6 foot, 180 to 190 running back type looking athletes ones that you want. Alabama hasn't. When's the last just big receiver, imposing receiver that Alabama's thrown out there? That's a question.
That the state of Alabama's put out there?
No. I'm talking because Seth Williams, I would consider that.
Yeah.
I would consider Sammy Coates close to that.
Yeah.
I'm saying the University of Alabama. Who's the last big body that was a big-time impact receiver for them?
Julio Jones.
Yeah, but that's a while back, Brett.
I know. I don't think they've
talking
had
about 10 years ago.
Yeah, but they've got top-ranked receivers, but they're not the.
My point is, it's not because it's because they're not choosing them.
That's right.
If they wanted them, they could get them.
Yeah.
My question is, has the receiver position changed the style and the look that we used to expect? The Lawyer Tillmans of the world don't play as often as they once did.
I know. I hear what you're saying on that, but if I can get a Julio Jones frame or a Seth Williams frame or whoever else that we want to put into that category, Sammy Coates frame, and I can stick them out there on the end, and I can get man coverage sometimes, and I can try to go for a jump ball, and they're big and physical. Seth Williams became a possession receiver for this team this year. I forgot what the stat was on his first downs and touchdown ratio per catch, but it's unbelievable what it was. That's who Bo Nix looked to if they needed to pick up a 3rd and 8, because he's got the body and the frame to go in there in the middle and have somebody draped all over his back and take a shot across the middle. He did it numerous times against Georgia. I know we didn't win the football game, but we kept drives going because Seth Williams would go across the middle, take shots, his big frame, and was able to jump back up and play another down.
I still enjoy, because I enjoy film, I enjoy talking to people about the reasons they're doing things, and it's hard for me to believe that these top-tier programs aren't going after a size and a look. And maybe Auburn is, but I'm glad we got it, because Kobe Hudson, my point is, he looks like Jalen Waddle.
He does.
He's got that build. I hope he's got at least somewhere near that athleticism.
Yeah, I think he's a big get there. One thing we'll shift over and talk about here next is the offensive line, because obviously this was a major need, and Auburn is filling that need, Randy, with 5 to 6 offensive linemen in this class. And they're using some JUCOs to fill that in, which is fine. When you're behind the 8 ball like Auburn got in the last 2 years with the offensive linemen, you're going to have to go out and get some guys to fill some needs. But they're not just going out and getting some Joe Blow JUCO guy. They're getting the number 1 JUCO lineman in the country that's already committed, expects to sign tomorrow, Killian Zyrer the College of the Canyons out in California. 6'7", 290 pounds. He's the number 1 JUCO lineman in the country. And then the Fox kid from Michigan that's going to decide between Kentucky and Auburn today at 5 o'clock. 6'6", 320 pounds, the number 2 JUCO lineman in the country. Randy, that's the kind of guys that Auburn's got to get to come in here and fill holes. They need guys that can come in and play immediately. They don't have the time to wait on a guy to develop and get him in here for a couple of years. Those 2 guys are going to come on the field and they're going to start.
How many years do they have left, both of them? Are both 3-year guys, or is one just a 2-year guy?
I think one of them's just a 2-year guy, but one, I don't know exactly which one it is. I need to look that up, but one has got 3 years left.
Okay.
So you got an opportunity there to have him longer than you typically would a JUCO offensive lineman. Going to get some more JUCO offensive linemen in there as well that'll add to it, but you've got some solid high school linemen that are going to be coming to fill this class. I think Jeremiah Wright's going to be good, Randy, from Selma High School. You and I saw him up close and personal. He was injured in the game that we called, got injured early, still fought back through it and came back out there and finished the football game. Man, he's big and physical. He's athletic.
He's athletic. He doesn't look, puffy is what I call a high school 18-year-old that looks like they don't have athleticism, but they got potential. He doesn't look that way. He's a massive man. Massive man. One thing Caleb Brooks came back and told us after he interviewed him, man, this guy fills a whole door for him when you see him.
That's massive. Up against another
Hi,
break.
I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga.
And I'm Coco. Do you owe more on your vehicle than it's worth? Are you stuck with high interest rates? We may be able to help.
If you've made your last 12 consecutive payments on time and would like to get a new vehicle for the same or close to the same payment and save thousands of dollars in interest, you may qualify.
So come by and see us and let us show you the Vaden way.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, located on Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
Be the hostess with the mostest this holiday season at Chicken Salad Chick with our easy party catering. Need a quick appetizer? Stop by Chicken Salad Chick and grab a quick chick of any chicken salad flavor or the pimento cheese ball covered with crushed pecans and crispy bacon. Remember, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. For a limited time, our pumpkin cheesecake is back and it's delicious. Chicken Salad Chick can feed any holiday crowd with our custom fit catering. 12 flavors of chicken salad, there's sure to be something for every taste bud.
Since the dawn of time, mankind has needed tools. But not all tools are created equal. AGF Machine Rental Sales and Service has tools for all commercial construction or big residential projects. AGF Machinery offers the most durable and hardworking brands of ASV, Skyjack, and Wacker Neusen. Aerial lifts, scissor lifts, loaders, excavators, and forest equipment on demand for the best possible price. And backed by the Southeast's best team of professionals. Visit any of our strategic locations across Alabama for all your equipment needs. Or online at agfmachinery.com.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs. Or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Expect it or not, the loss of a loved one is difficult. Put your family first by planning ahead. This is Joseph Dean, new owner of Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers. We are a full-service funeral home with an on-site crematory and cemetery. Whether your need is immediate or you would like to plan in advance, our experienced, compassionate staff can assist you in designing an enduring memorial experience, burial, or cremation. Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers on Highway 280 in Camp Hill or online, alabamafuneralhomes.com.
Tires are important, and when getting a great price on tires, you want to get it right. So make the short drive to Wright's Tire in Sylacauga. Wright's Tire can get you any make or model of tire, and they make the drive worth it with volume pricing. Whether North Tallapoosa, South Talladega, or Coosa County, make the right choice, the right selection, the right service, and the right price. All at Wright's Tire on Fort William Street in Sylacauga. Call for a free quote, 256-245-7778, and get the right price on tires.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
You already know the power and reliability of a Mahindra tractor. Get ready to meet their ATV and UTV lines. Haul more and tow more. Do more. Reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Models have a 12-inch ground clearance and the ability to haul up to 1,200 pounds. There's a Mahindra utility vehicle and a model specifically to get the job done. Test drive today at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. Serving Tallapoosa, Coosa, Clay, and Talladega counties. 256-392-3613.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here, brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores and Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team. A couple segments left in today's show. We will take some comments here. Steven said Javon Robinson was a pretty high running back commitment. He definitely was. He was a top profile. Auburn's done a really good job of signing top running backs. Now, again, some plan out, some don't. Tuck said that he's been on Tank since 9th grade. Auburn has. That was Gardner's recruit. Just tells you about Rodney Gardner and what he continues to do. Tuck says that Flack. He feels like Auburn's going to land him. We're going to talk about him. He's got the 3 years to play too. I said that I think we pulled back from the kid, the George kid, this top defensive back, JUCO defensive back, and Tuck agrees that there was something there. He ended up going to Texas A&M. That's who he was talking about. But I think Auburn has got some surprises. If you saw Avery Jernigan, his tweet yesterday, he said, hope all you Auburn fans are ready. See who we're going to be adding on Wednesday with the big eyes emoji. So I think Auburn's got some. Auburn does this every year. They come in and they get, you may lose a guy or two, but they get 2 or 3 guys that weren't even on any recruiting service radar. And it's like, man, where'd that guy come from? Sometimes these coaches keep things and these recruits keep things under wraps until signing day so they don't have to deal with a bunch of talk.
All right, how many more would you like to see us close with, and who are the ones you want to see us close with?
Okay, there's 4 spots left, really 4 or 5 spots left for Auburn coming in. So
and let me interrupt you though. This is just the early signing period.
This is it, yeah.
So if you had a couple left over, I guess for the final, it wouldn't be bad.
Well, there's a big offensive tackle in the state of Georgia, a 5-star that's basically that Georgia thought they were going to get. That's really opened their recruiting up, and that's a guy that he's not going to sign until February. So you feel like, man, yeah, if I can hold a spot for that guy, yeah, we'll take him. He's a top-ranked offensive lineman. But Auburn currently has 20 hard commitments. Obviously, everybody knows the story on Javion Cohen, who flipped to Alabama. We did have 21. Now we're down to 20. Auburn still ranked number 9 in the country nationally, according to 24/7, 6th in the SEC. Just tells you. 9 nationally, 6 in the SEC. But has a chance to move up a few spots here. Looking to add 6 offensive linemen in this class, whoever those 6 are. We've already gone through 4 of them. And so we know that 4 are pretty much done deals. Who will be the other 2? The kid from Michigan will be one that we look at heavily today. But storylines to follow. This came from AL.com, so I'm just going to give them credit. They did a good job. The number 1 storyline for Auburn tomorrow is J.J. Pegues from Mississippi. He is a big kid, tight end. Everybody wants him, but he's narrowed it down to Alabama, Ole Miss, and Auburn. The crystal ball prediction says 65 or 70% Auburn, so they feel like it's a heavy lean there. But when Nick Saban's in the mix and now Lane Kiffin's in the mix with Ole Miss, you know there's going to be a full court press on this young man for his services. And I told Caleb this yesterday. I said, whoever he chooses to go to, they're getting a heck of a player. I watched the Alabama-Mississippi game Saturday, and he was in the Wildcat on 4th and short situations. You can't tackle him. He only had, I think he had 5 catches for like 19 yards or whatever, but not a lot of yards, a lot of dink and dive and stuff. But you can't look at stats in an all-star game. He was probably the best player on the field outside the defensive tackle for Mississippi. He's one that if any of those 3 teams get him, it's a big one.
Tight end?
Tight end, yep.
You think Chad Morris can go in and convince him that we're going to use a tight end? Because there's going to need to be some convincing, because I've almost let you talk me into thinking that we're going to use a tight end every year for the last decade, and we still don't use one.
Yeah, let me kind of give you the synopsis on his recruiting right now. Again, Auburn's the lead here, according to 24/7, says there are no tight ends among the Auburn recruiting class, although there are 3 others listed as athletes. Pegues is recruited by Larry Porter. Larry Porter's from Mississippi. He's got a big-time relationship with him. There's a lot of times there's something about the relationship of who's recruiting you. So I think Auburn's had Larry Porter on him since day one, and he could be the difference maker in him coming to Auburn. You know, he's that H-back guy too. You know, he's a guy that can line up at H-back. He's not just a pure tight end. He's a big kid. So he's got good speed for his size. So I think a lot of people are looking at him for multiple positions. I think he plays the H-back position at Auburn.
He is signing tomorrow.
He is signing tomorrow.
So we'll know, and that one will be done.
Absolutely.
Who else?
Desmond Tisdale, a kid that is down. He's out of Georgia again, a 4-star, but he's narrowed it down to Auburn and Tennessee. South Carolina's still in the mix a little bit, but he's a kid that a lot of people wanted. He's one of the top linebackers in the country. You know, his guys that have hosted him since he's been coming on campus are T.D. Moultrie and K.J. Britt, and a lot of those guys will be leaving in the next year. He's got an opportunity to come in. He's one of the top targets for Travis Williams in this class. 24/7 has him 70% to Auburn. But Tennessee's making a push here, so I don't know where he ends up. But he also will be signing tomorrow as well, so that's a big deal.
Well, you know, this is coming from someone that has no earthly idea how the back end of this is playing out, but I would take my chances with a linebacker signing with Auburn and choosing Travis Williams and what he's produced there over a tight end. I'll believe it when I see it when Chad Morris closes a tight end or an H-back that wants the ball in his hands. It's going to have to be Chad Morris.
Well, I'm telling you, you know, it's like they were saying on the broadcast, Alabama-Mississippi game, this guy's not your everyday tight end. This is a guy that you can line up in the slot. You can line up at H-back. You can line him up on the line of scrimmage. He's so versatile. He's an O.J. Howard, man.
Yeah.
He's who you think of when you think of a versatile guy. O.J. Howard, how many times did he catch a pass running down the sideline on a deep route for Alabama? You know, he's not just a dump it off, get 3 or 4 yards. This guy can carry the football. He can run the football. There's a lot of different things you can use him with. So I think maybe with Chad Morris coming on board, maybe he can go, I know you've seen Auburn in the past, and you know I'm here now. I love tight ends. And he can run down the list of tight ends that he's had since he's been coaching, and that could be the thing that convinces him to come to Auburn. I don't know. It'll be the kid's determination. Come back, final segment of the program. We'll talk about some times tomorrow for some of these for some of these kids that are signing. Stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Mortgage Pro is the new standard for mortgage loans. While other banks are taking 45 to 60 days to close a loan, Mortgage Pro is making it happen in less than 15 days. Your mortgage loan goes from start to finish in less than 15 days. Mortgage Pro is able to make this happen by having the most advanced technology and a highly trained staff with over 98 years combined experience. If you're looking to buy a home or refinance your current mortgage, call Mortgage Pro and let our team go to work for you.
Welcome back, everyone. Final segment of the program here. We'll go down through here and see about some comments because we know a lot of you have been bringing some in, and we appreciate that. Appreciate all of you out there watching and listening to us out there. Steven said we got Brendan Coffey. He's the number 3 junior college offensive lineman at 6'6", 275. So if we get Flax, that'll be the top 3 JUCO linemen in the country. That's a pretty good deal.
You don't think they're selling that immediate playing time, do you?
If they look at our offensive line
yeah.
and they see who's leaving and exiting, and you got one lone guy that's left out there, yes, the playing time is out there. Tuck says that he thinks the O.J. Howard comparison for Big East was dead on. That's who I thought he looked like playing against in the Alabama-Mississippi game. He's just a very, very athletic big guy, and so I think a lot of people are excited about that. Tuck said Kobe is a big get. Kobe Hudson's a big get for Auburn. That's another one.
Tell us when are these times, and is that it? Is that the end of the ones that you hope we close with tomorrow?
That's the bigger ones that we're looking for tomorrow. And you'll know something pretty quick. Flax will be today at 5 o'clock. Again, 6'6", 320 pounds out of Independence Community College out of Kansas. He is from Michigan, but he'll be deciding between Auburn and Kentucky is who he's got that narrowed down to. Jeremiah Pegues, they call him J.J. Pegues, 6'3", 285 pounds is what he's listed at. Probably he's the number 7 overall tight end in the country. He'll be committing in the morning at 8 o'clock. So you'll know quickly about J.J. Pegues. And then, of course, Desmond Tisdale, he'll be committing tomorrow at noon. He's listed at 6'1", 215 pounds out of Wilcox County, Georgia. So that's your 3 players that Auburn are looking to hopefully get the commitment from. Plus, according to Avery Jernigan, maybe a couple surprises tomorrow. Auburn can be done with their signing class tomorrow. They could be finished. If they get these 3 guys, that'll get them to 23, and then that'll leave a couple of spaces out there. I'm sure Auburn won't be, unless it's somebody really special, they'll hold those spots for some of those guys that are going to be committing late. You know, I know Jackson McKinley's kind of got it narrowed down to Ole Miss and Alabama and one more. He's out of the state of Mississippi. He's the #1 player in the state, 6'2", 327-pound defensive tackle that really dominated the game Saturday in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. To me, he was the best player on the field overall. You know, I don't know if Auburn even tries to make a push for him or not, but three top schools for him right now, I believe, are Ole Miss, Alabama, and LSU are his 3 top.
Did any of us see this early signing period knocking out recruiting pretty much? Did anybody foresee, yes, recruiting's going to be done? Because I'm guessing, I haven't looked down at how many commits that Alabama and LSU and Georgia and others have, but they're all pretty much done, aren't they?
They are. I mean, Alabama's got 23, I think. I mean, here's the deal. And
Did you see it coming?
Well, I think we all learned a lesson. I think Auburn really learned a lesson last year. And I think what you did find out is that it takes a lot of pressure off these kids. You know, this thing, and some choose to still have, some of your top-ranked players still choose to carry this thing out in February and take their official visits. Don't blame them at all. You only do this one time, so take advantage of it. What you do find out is a lot of them want to get this thing over.
They also, a lot of them want to early enroll.
And they want to early enroll. They want to get it over with. And these schools have put a little pressure on these top recruits to say, look, it's down to you and this guy here. And you're our first choice. But if you don't, if you want to wait, I can't wait on you. So it's a game. It's a mind game. It's a back and forth game here, and it works for both sides. I think 80 to 85% of the recruiting will be done now. And it's like Jason said last Friday. Jason Caldwell. He said, you know, this is the signing period now. When they move this up into December, that next signing period, which used to be the main signing period in February, is your secondary signing period. And going back to what I was saying, I think Auburn learned their lesson. They were still recruiting like you used to recruit. They only had 16 commitments this time last year. Also, the landscape was different. Gus Malzahn was on a hot seat. Was he coming back? Is he going to get fired? I think that had a lot to do with it. A lot more consistency, a lot more stability this year. Auburn probably going to finish tomorrow with 23 commitments at the least, or 23 people on the dotted line. That's huge. That means last year this time had 16. Had a lot of work to do going into February, and there's a very small pool of players left out there to pick from, and you're not going to get all of them. So Auburn had a tough time filling their class last year. It still ended up having a good class.
Yeah.
But I think they decided, Gus Malzahn said, we ain't doing that again.
Well, I think we also learned a lesson on linebacker and at offensive line that if you are sitting around waiting on one to close with, that there's a good chance also there's a 50-50 chance you don't close with them, and then you're left holding the bag. So it hopefully will work out well for Auburn, and they get some JUCO guys that want to be here and want to be part of the program and can make a big difference. We've got a couple more minutes left, Brett. I want to swap this over.
Can I make one more point off what you said real quick? Twitter and fans want to make a big deal out of stuff on Twitter and drama with Javion Cohen. Auburn heard and probably thought that, okay, he's not coming. Auburn probably don't get flax today. You know, he's trying to decide whether he wants to come if Javion Cohen stays committed, and then Auburn waits, like you said, to Wednesday to decide that you may not get that kid today. So you have to move on for what you think's the best for you. I just wanted to add that in.
I didn't get a chance to talk a little bit about basketball yesterday, but I wanted to close out the program with that because that was a good win over St. Louis. That was a game St. Louis team that was out to an 8-1 start. Auburn did not play well at all offensively, but here's the key for Auburn offensively to me is we got 5, 6, 7 guys that can get 20. And that's abnormal.
Did you know that was going to happen this year?
No, I didn't know that McCormick would score the basketball like he's had the opportunity to now, and now he's really starting to hit his groove. But when you look at the bottom down here and you see Purifoy has 2 points, Purifoy gets 2. You also look down, Dowdy gets 8. So between Dowdy and Purifoy, you get 10, and you still win the basketball game.
And Dowdy averages 18.5 a game, and Purifoy averages 12.
So my point, though, is that when you're deep enough to be able to find points out there when somebody else is off, you got a good team. You got a really, really good team.
Solid.
And, Okoro has been really consistent this year, but I'm happy to see us win a game. I think this is a needed win. When
huge.
You find a point that goes for 20 and then everybody else has a mediocre game and you're still able defensively to beat a team that's 8-1.
You just summed up what Auburn basketball used to be. Auburn would have one decent player on the team, and if he didn't score 25, you didn't have a chance.
You're in trouble.
If he had an off night, you get blown out.
Yeah.
That was Auburn basketball. Now Purifoy, one of your better players, can score 2 points, and you still win by, what, 6 points? Hey.
And it was not that close. Auburn had a really bad stretch from 6 minutes down to 2
They got out to down 9-0 to start the game.
So that was a good win.
Very good win. Auburn will be against NC State on Thursday at Auburn. That'll be another huge game for this team. That's going to be it for the show today. Again, we want to thank everybody for watching and listening. For Randy, I'm Brett saying we've enjoyed it. We'll help you out. See you tomorrow.